Thank you. Our next oration, the Dr. Lalitha Kameshwaran oration, holds a special place in the history of Indian pharmacology. Instituted to commemorate the visionary leadership and profound academic contributions of Dr. Lalitha, this distinguished honor recognizes scientists whose work has driven transformative progress in pharmacology, therapeutics, and biomedical innovation. Upholding Dr. Kameshwaran's legacy, this oration occupies an esteemed place in Indian pharmacological academia, promoting rigorous scientific developments and fostering a culture of scholarly excellence. Chairing this commemorative oration are two eminent personalities who exemplify academic leadership and mentorship. First, we have Professor Babul Kumar Bezbura, President, Indian Pharmacological Society, and I don't think he needs an introduction at this moment. Sir has graciously chaired one or two sessions before as well, and now joining him today in chairing this session is Dr. Yogesh Kulkarni, who is Professor and Associate Dean at School of Pharmacy and Technology Management, NMIMS University, Mumbai. His work spans pharmacognosy, pharmacology, natural products, and herbal drug research with a strong focus on translational drug discovery. Dr. Kulkarni has contributed substantially to curriculum development and academic administration and continues to be a guiding force in pharmaceutical sciences across India. I request my esteemed chairs to formally preside over the session and introduce our speaker, Professor Mohd Ishaq Geer. I request Professor Geer to kindly come on the stage.
Very good morning. Dr. Mohd Ishaq Geer, who is a professor, Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences and Directorate of Lifelong Learning, University of Kashmir, Srinagar, Jammu and Kashmir. Professor Geer Mohd Ishaq is Professor of Pharmacology, Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences, University of Kashmir, with over 23 years of academic and research experience. He also serves as Directorate of Lifelong Learning, and has held key administrative positions including Director, Center for Career Planning and Counseling. A former drug control officer, he earned his M.Pharm from RGUHS Karnataka and PhD from the University of Kashmir. With over 50 research papers, 170 invited talks, and multiple best paper awards, he contributes extensively to pharmacovigilance, pharmacy practice, research governance, and policy implementation in healthcare and higher education. I request Dr. Geer, please start.
Thank you very much. A very good morning to all of you. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity to present this oration, Dr. Lalitha Kameshwaran oration, which is a matter of great privilege and honor indeed. And equally more honorable that I'm speaking in front of legendary professors, pioneers in pharmacology like Professor Kulkarni, Professor Goel and others, and Professor Diwan. So actually my research interests focus around pharmacovigilance, clinical pharmacology, drug utilization evaluation. But instead of talking about my own areas of research and my journey, I thought it'll be more prudent to talk about the theme of this particular conference, that is empowering young minds to transform pharmacology for Viksit Bharat 2047. So as already has been emphasized by Professor Y.K. Gupta yesterday, that we need to be futuristic, we need to be contemporary, and we need to be relevant, and we need to look forwards, and we need to gain knowledge about new technologies emerging. So I thought I'll be talking about the transformation, how we could transform pharmacology into 4.0. Nowadays there is a lot of buzz about industry 4.0, there is healthcare 4.0. So what about pharmacology 4.0? How the pharmacology could emerge and evolve with the passage of time And with the changing technologies, nowadays AI and ML is taking over the world in its stride. So I thought, let me discuss and see in front of all the pioneers and students and scholars what best we can do in pharmacology and how we could contribute towards Viksit Bharat 2047. So to begin with, when we talk about transforming young minds, I don't see any other leader as towering a personality as Swami Vivekananda ji, who said, take up one idea, make that one idea your life. Think of it, dream of it, live on that idea. Let the brain, muscles, nerves, every part of your body be full of that idea. And this is the way to success. So he said, my faith is in the younger generation, the modern generation. They will work out the whole problem like lions. So I thought I'll just present an idea which struck my mind. That I didn't see any other speakers talking about digital twins. And I believe this may be the first time I may be speaking in this on this forum about digital twins. So I thought, let me give that idea to the society and let us see how it will emerge and evolve and how it'll be able to transform the paradigm of pharmacology. And then our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, also has said that in order to achieve the dream of our Viksit Bharat, we are transitioning from Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav after completing 75 years of independence 3 years back. We are now in the Azadi Ka Amrit Kal, wherein we have to do Vimarsh. And in that Vimarsh, he said, this is the period in the history of India when the country is going to take a quantum leap. For India, this is the time, right time. Today, the aim of your goals, your resolutions should be only one, developed India. And idea starts with an I, just like India begins with an I, development efforts begin from self. So we need to introspect, look inwards, and see what best we can do to contribute towards this goal of Viksit Bharat, wherein we need to impart skill-oriented education, innovative research and development, innovation, incubation, startup, and entrepreneurship development in pharmaceutical sciences. So we need to think on these lines in order to develop our pharmacology, develop our pharmaceutical sciences, which could in turn contribute towards the goal of Viksit Bharat. And so the idea which I'm presenting today is a 360-degree transformation, paradigm shift in the pharmacology. Already we are undertaking a lot of in silico testing. We are doing target and lead identification, their validation, their optimization in silico. Then we are doing molecular docking, we are doing pharmacophore modeling, molecular modeling, and so much more through computer-aided drug design. So already that much has been gained. We are doing it at a considerable level in our country. But what have you thought about when will we be able to transform the preclinical studies entirely into digital format and also the clinical trials completely into digital format? That is when we will be able to achieve, India has been the leader in the pharmaceutical sciences, the pharmacy of the South, pharmacy of the world. We have provided the lead in COVID-19. We have supplied vaccines to the whole world. We have supplied generics to the whole world. But now, in order to maintain that lead in future, we need to present a new innovative model, an out-of-box solution in pharmacology also, so that we will become leaders in CROs, in clinical research. Already in our country, there are more than 300 CROs, and this market of CROs is 2.5 billion. But we have to reach to $10 billion in clinical research. How that will become possible? How India could be the leader in clinical research? That will become possible only when we completely digitally transform our preclinical studies as well as the clinical trials, as well as the in vitro and in vivo. See, as of now, when you complete your lead identification target optimization, you have to go to the in vivo and in vitro studies on animal cell lines, etc. But when we will be able to do it in a completely digital mode, that is a big question. How that can be achieved and how that will become possible. That will become possible through big data analytics, through use of these digital twins in clinical trials, as well as in preclinical. So that is the idea of Pharmacology 4.0, which is emerging as a conceptual framework that represents the next generation of pharmacological science, which integrates advanced technologies like big data analytics, system-level understanding to revolutionize how drugs are discovered, developed, and used. And that parallels with Industry 4.0 and Healthcare 4.0 paradigms, and is a data-driven, AI-enabled, system-integrated approach to pharmacological research, education, and practice, which leverages multi-omics, digital twins, real-world data, and automation for personalized and predictive medicine. Now, when we say pharmacology 4.0, then there must also be pharmacology 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. We haven't heard of it earlier. It hasn't been discussed elsewhere. So how do we segmentize it? How do we compartmentalize it? Like if we look at it, that pharmacology 4.0, pharmacology 1.0, we can trace it. There is no strict classification available anywhere, but I could think of it on these lines. So there may be agreements or disagreements on this, that pharmacology 1 was the era which was descriptive era, which was full of trial and error, pre-19th century to early 20th century. There was empirical and observation-based drug use guided by trial and error. Focus was on natural products and traditional medicine, but there were no mechanistic understanding of drug action, herbalism, toxicology, and crude drug studies. Then came the pharmacology 2.0, which was a mechanistic and molecular era, from mid-20th century to late 20th century, which showed the emergence of receptor theory, biochemical mechanisms, development of synthetic drugs, understanding dose-response relationship. And then came the pharmacology 3.0, the translational and precision medicine era, the omics era, early 21st century, which witnessed integration of genomics, proteomics, metabolomics, transcriptomics, and a shift towards personalized and precision medicine. And now we are in the pharmacology 4.0, which is intelligent, interconnected, predictive, human-centric, and autonomous pharmacology. And from 2025 onwards, we can make progress in this direction by leveraging integration of AI, machine learning, digital twins, big data analytics, real-world data collection, human-centric design, IoT, etc. These 21st century technology. Now, why should we do that? Are we not happy and satisfied with the current things which we have at hand? Preclinical studies on animals, clinical trials on humans, giving us real-life data. Why should we think in these directions? Is it really important? Yes, it is. If we go by the words spoken by the Nobel laureate of physics of 2024, who is also known as the godfather of artificial intelligence, Geoffrey Hinton. He has said schools and universities will become obsolete in another 10 years. We won't need them. These are the words which he has quoted in an interview to CBS TV channel in 60 Minutes program, which you can Google out and search for yourself. And no, there may be disagreements. This is debatable. Many people say the technology will never replace the teachers. And I also believe on it to some extent, but when the words are coming from Nobel laureates, the Nobel laureate in chemistry, Demis Hassabis, who is a UK-based computer scientist, Nobel laureate in 2024, he also predicts that there will be an end to all disease within 10 years. There will be an end to all, because of these technologies. And even Bill Gates has said that AI will replace doctors and teachers within 10 years as we enter the era of free intelligence. See, this time we are in the era of generative artificial intelligence, but then we will be switching over to artificial general intelligence. And then will come the stage of artificial super intelligence. So we are already in that queue. We are already marching in that direction. Nothing can stop it. Whether we like it or not, whether we adopt it or not, it is going to happen. Now that we know that it is going to happen and nothing can stop it, why not align with it? Why not synchronize with it? And why not prepare ourselves for it? So that is the whole idea. That is, we need these systems pharmacology approach, systems biology approach, quantitative systems pharmacology approach. We need to integrate all these technologies so that we can develop a biosignature of the human being, which will enable us to develop the digital twins. That is integration and application of omics. We know that genomics, we do the gene mapping. It gives rise, DNA gives rise to RNA. Full RNA picture comes out through transcriptomics. The picture of all the proteins in the body is profiled through proteomics. Then the whole mapping of all the metabolites is done through metabolomics. When we apply it to the drug discovery and design, we call it pharmacometabolomics. And then there is influence of environment. You know, we don't only look at the genotype, we also have to look at the phenotype. So the environmental influences on the genotype, the exposomics, exposures, environmental exposures, and the epigenetics together influence the genotype. And then all of these together, integromics. So our students need to learn these technologies. They need to know about these technologies, how they are going to affect and impact the new drug design and development. But that is not all. Only omics technologies is not all. We also need to learn and integrate the informatics-based technologies, because this will help us know the human body completely. See, so far we have been discussing characterization of natural products in plants, how to isolate them, how to purify them, how to characterize them. Now is the time to characterize the human being. Now is the time to characterize the various components, the elements, the molecules inside the body of a human being, their interaction, their networking, their combination. And that will become possible through these technologies. That is genoinformatics, which deals with genetic variation and mutation data, bioinformatics, target discovery, pathway analysis, and biomarkers, immunoinformatics, the immune response modeling and epitopes, chemoinformatics, molecular design, screening, QSAR, toxicoinformatics, the toxicity prediction and safety profiling, pharmacoinformatics, the ADMET, PKPD, and drug interaction. So when we know all of these about a particular human being, one person, we know his full toxicity profile, drug metabolic profile, we know his genetic profile, this immune profile, it will become easy for us to develop a digital twin of that person. And then when we combine it with the quantum systems pharmacology, quantitative systems pharmacology, we'll be in a position to have a real-life prediction for high-fidelity clinical twins, which can generate real-time data about that particular individual and which can be used for clinical trials. Now, so far as the preclinical trials are concerned, already this new approach methodologies, NAMs, the in silico techniques are being used in preclinical pipelines. But now they will be replaced. The physiologically based PKPD models and QSP models will replace early animal PK studies. The AI predictive toxicology models will replace animal toxicity screening. The organ-on-chip technology, digital simulation will replace organ toxicity studies. The omics plus machine learning will predict efficacy and biomarker discovery. And virtual control arms will reduce patient enrollment. So we'll have virtual control arms, means the control group will be entirely made up of digital twins. There may not be use of any human beings at all. Digital twins which are not necessarily the counterparts of physical human beings. They are, there are two types of digital twins. One is individual digital twin, which is a counterpart, a copy of a physical being, which needs a copy, real life physical being, but population twins, which is generated from the data, population-based data, and which do not need any physical counterparts. So systems biology approach, as I was mentioning, a thorough characterization of organism concerning its molecular components, interactions, and how these interactions contribute to cellular function. This approach will be utilized for quantitative systems pharmacology, which is the application of systems biology principles to the field of pharmacology and seeks to understand how drugs affect the human body as a single complex biological system. So this will check the networks of interactions, which may include chemical protein, protein-protein, genetic, signaling, and physiological interactions. And this systems pharmacology will use bioinformatics and statistics techniques to integrate and interpret these networks. So that is what will lead us to Pharmacology 4.0, which will be a quantum leap in drug development research, a historical inflection point in drug sciences. Integration of all these techniques moves pharmacology will be moving from empirical experimentation to predictive simulation. And this will bridge molecular mechanisms with data-driven precision techniques. So I'll just jump to because of the paucity of time, I have to finish all the slides now. Looking at the digital twins, what exactly are digital twins? Digital twins are virtually replicas of physical devices that IT professionals and data scientists can use to run simulations before actual devices are built and deployed. A digital twin is a digital representation of a physical object or a system. In essence, it is a computer program that takes real-world data about a physical object and produces output predictions or simulations of how that physical object or system will be affected by those inputs. how actually this digital twin concept has emerged. It has been used way back in 1960 by NASA. And they have, in order to simulate the spacecraft environment, and in order to be able to debug the flight issues in real time, they came up with this digital twin concept of the, when these astronauts go to the outer space. So they build those digital twins of the same environment on the Earth and tested every aspect of it. And the concept was successfully utilized during Apollo 13 mission when the spacecraft suffered a malfunction and the NASA team had to simulate the conditions aboard Apollo 13. So early 2000s, this was discussed, then mid to 2010, 2017 to 19, 20 to 20, and 23 to present. There have been series of changes and series of breakthroughs in this digital twin technology. I'll not go into the details of it, but the benefits of digital technology are that it will provide us personalized medicine, predictive analysis, research and trials, improved patient engagement, healthcare efficiency. In the sense that there will be personalization will become possible by tailoring of treatment plans to individual physiology and genetics, integrating of data from electronic health records, genomics and wearables, and will enable real-time adjustments based on patient response. Then predictive diagnosis will detect early signs of disease progression, will identify risk factors using historical real-time data, will support preventive care and timely interventions. It will be cost effective. There are a lot of concerns about cost of digital twins, but this will be cost effective delivery because it will reduce unnecessary procedures and hospitalizations. It will optimize resource allocation. It will improve efficiency in clinical workflows and will simulate treatment outcomes. Then accelerated drug innovation, accelerated drug design and development will also become possible. So it will have cost and time efficiency. It will improve patient safety. It will enhance data collection, analytics, and insights. And there will be a lot of flexibility in scenario testing. Now, can there be digital twins of only human beings? No. Digital twins are possible for each organ, for each cell, for each tissue. And at tissue level, cellular level, organ level, or the human level, and even for the whole hospital, there could be a digital twin for the whole system. So there are patient-specific digital twins which are individualized at personalized level, which are virtual replica of an individual. Then there are organ-level digital twins, which are virtual models of, you have heard about lung on the chip. So organ on the chip technology, specific digital twins of heart, liver, kidney, etc. Then we can also have digital twins of tissues. So we can have modeling of the disease, modeling of the organs, modeling of the whole human being through these digital twins. That will become possible. A person can know from his own digital twin whether this drug will be effective or not, what kind of adverse reaction based on the data which it has generated from lakhs of studies. Machine learning through databases available already. It will generate data and give him that this drug could, it knows the biology, it knows the physiology as well as the genomics of the person. It will tell him this drug could show this side effect in you, or this may or may not be effective. So, of course, initially it may be costly, it may not be affordable, it may not be accessible, but with the passage of time, as the technology will evolve, the issues related to affordability, accessibility will be resolved. And then there are some terms which are very frequently used with respect to the digital twins. For example, the digital twin fidelity, which largely depends on the real-time data generation, real-world information. The digital twin instance, which describes the physical twin during entire lifespan. When a person is connected to the digital twin throughout his lifespan, and in real-time basis, it is generating and accumulating data from the person. And DT aggregate is the aggregation of some of these DT instances and aggregates, while as DT bank, digital twin bank, is an organized repository of instances as well as aggregates, and a digital twin thread, on the other hand, is a temporal data pipeline right from the birth of a person to the death of a person, which tracks the relation of all the elements over a period of time. So there may be static twins, which are mirror twins, which may not be able to generate real-time data, but there are also functional twins. Functional twins generate real-time data over a period of time. They are constantly linked through biosensors, IoT-based sensors, and through other networks, which will generate real-time data. And there are shadow twins, which are digital twins for medical devices, for biomarker and design, drug discovery, biomanufacturing, And then intelligent twins, which is the most evolved version of the DT, which is a self-adaptive twin with a degree of artificial intelligence. So the difference between individual twin and population digital twin, individual digital twin is connected. It is a mirror twin which mirrors one real person in life. So it needs a physical counterpart, needs real-time sensing, and is used for personalized medicine. On the other hand, the population digital twins do not need physical counterparts. They are not real, these real human beings are not required. They will be built from databases through machine learning and models, and they'll be used for drug development simulations. And how population twins will be constructed? They will be constructed through big biological databases, genomics-based data, physiological PK/PD-based and QSP-based data, AI-generated variability data, and which will be validated using historical clinical outcomes. So, in order to have the digital twins of animals, the laboratory animals, we need to collect biological, physiological data of the animal. Then we need to build a physiologically based PK/PD and QSP mechanistic model. We need to add disease-specific modules. We need to integrate PK/PD. We need to train AI to replicate experimental variability. We need to add virtual sensors, validate using real lab animal data, and then we need to use for simulations, toxicity. So for that, we will have to apply these neural networks based on models. I'm not a computer wizard. I'm not an IT expert. I'm not even an expert in digital twins. But we need to learn and know more about these technologies so that we are in a position to leverage them. Now, what are the challenges? There are concerns related to these digital twins. And there may be definitely new technology. Every new technology has certain challenges. The first and foremost challenge will be that of data privacy and security. When we implement these cybersecurity measures, data encryption and patient consent procedures will need to be incorporated. So data standardization and integration is another challenge. We need to develop universal health data standards and systems to integrate and interpret various databases. The quality of data, see, when we test on actual human beings, the quality of data is good. But when we test on digital twins, what will be the quality of data? Will it be equally good as that on humans? That is a big challenge. For that, we need to conduct regular audits, maintain data quality checks, and use reliable data collection sources. Then there are computational challenges. Every institute, every country, every setup may not be having all the infrastructure. They need to invest in high-capacity servers. They need to invest in cloud computing, edge computing, leverage AI and ML learning. And then there are regulatory concerns. No, they need to be approved by the FDA. So then only we can apply them for clinical trials. So we need to collaborate with regulatory bodies for guidelines and standards. We need to conduct pilot projects and clinical trials. And lastly, there is the challenge of adoption and trust. Can we trust those digital twins? Can we trust these technologies? Privacy, the confidentiality, the quality of the data generated, all these are the issues related to trust. There are a few more challenges and limitations. I will not go into further details of this. But then there are ethical considerations. Ethical considerations while using digital twins, like patient consent and autonomy. So when a patient's digital twin is available, anybody can do anything with that digital twin. So there are issues related to infringement of privacy, autonomy, and patient must understand how their data will be used. And then there are algorithmic biases and fairness. So bias of the algorithm has to be eliminated. The data privacy and security has to be ensured, and fairness audits have to be conducted. These digital twins can rely on sensitive healthcare data. So I will skip some of the slides. Then there are the implications on academia. What are the implications on the universities? The academia institution like this one, what do they need to do for preparing for this? Universities must define pharmacology education and research ecosystem to align with digital transformation, first of all. Then they need to integrate AI, data science, and omics into curricula. They need to establish interdisciplinary centers for computational pharmacology. They need to invest in digital twin laboratories and simulation-based learning. They need to train faculty in AI ethics, in data governance, and system modeling. And then Pharmacology 4 will also democratize research by linking universities globally through open data clouds and collaborative platforms. So these are some of the strategic implications for academics. And then we can slowly, even there will be Pharmacology 5.0, what will be there in pharmacology 5.0? There will be cognitive AI. There will be empathy algorithms. There will be neurosymbolic intelligence. That is when the machine not only collects or predicts, but also understands. What do you mean by understand? When the machine balances efficacy with empathy. So that is the next level, which of course the computers or artificial intelligence has not achieved as yet. But the vision of the pharmacological civilization, so Vision 2047, coming back to Viksit Bharat, if we want to see, we have ample time. We are not going to do it overnight, in a say, or 1 month, or 1 year, or 10 years. We have time till 2047. So this time we may be jittery, we may be apprehensive about these technologies, we may not be able to digest it, but we have time till 2047 when we can leverage it and we can accumulate, adopt it. So these are some of the DT health research centers around the world. It is not that anything is not being done. Already many companies are working on it. But these are some of the instances of the companies, the community, the emphasis and the aim. They are already working on the digital twins in healthcare. A lot of solutions have already emerged. And the lung, the heart, the spine, they are used in Alzheimer's disease. They are used in breast lesions for research purpose. Then oropharyngeal cancer, type 2, diabetes, mental health conditions, and so many. So these are the number of papers which have been published on digital twins. As you can see, it started somewhere in 2017, and this time, 2023, we have 321 publications. So these are the applications of these digital twins in a whole gamut of areas, not only clinical trials, but also personalized medicine, surgical planning, device design, and a lot more. So as I already mentioned, there are more than 300 CROs, and the 2.5 billion is the current market.
Dr. Geer.
Yeah, I'm concluding, sir. Just a couple of slides more. I'll finish within my time. So projected is $8 to $10 billion. And this is the, if we want to tap this market, already Government of India is providing opportunities like PRIP. The PRIP has a funding of around 5,000 crores. So Government of India is aware of the things which we need to be done, up to 100 crores per project under PRIP. So if there is a funding of 5,000 crores available, which is our government is making, why can't we think on these terms? Yesterday we had a presentation by Dr. Shiv Prakash. He said there is an opportunity for starting a startup in this AI ML. So many people, youngsters who are empowered and who are motivated enough, they can present and make their startups on these lines. They can start from the basic level. They don't need to go too high on this paradigm. But once we start thinking and moving in this direction, then only we'll make some progress. That is the takeaway. I thank you all for your patient audience, and let us take a pledge to further Atmanirbhar Bharat and Viksit Bharat by the year 2047. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Geer, for finishing in time. I'll not ask you any question. Just one question will be thrown to Kulkarni sir, because you have come across all the, from pharmacology 1.0 to pharmacology 4.0. So what are the differences you are observing, and what will be the future of pharmacology?
No, I have 2-3 general observations to make on the, exhaustive presentation by Dr. Geer. Number one, too much material on the slide to follow it up was very difficult, and you are also running through your text material there. So it is always better to have little material on the slide, and we can explain this one. The other one is you are talking about Viksit Bharat 1947 as envisioned by our Honorable Prime Minister. In order to become Viksit Bharat, India has to increase its GER, gross educational
enrollment
ratio. Gross enrollment ratio from, it is now about 10 or 12, it has
35.
to go to 50.
50 years.
And it needs a lot of other requirements. So I don't know, you asked me what would be the future of pharmacology. The pharmacology will always depend on DRC, dose response relationship. Whatever use AI or anything else, this is the crux of the discipline. Whether it is advanced therapy